yeah, I had the privilege of casting many Argosh games.
10 seconds remaining.
Actually, it might not be. No, it
5
was. This
seconds
was the
remaining.
DPC match. Anyway, you remember the moment where there was a pause and you were talking about Moxie's like, what do you think they're laughing at? I don't know. What do you think's going on? I don't know. They're probably laughing at some like dumb inside joke that they have going on. I don't know, try and get into the mind of these players or something.
Yeah.
And what's
accurate.
happening during that pause is BSJ is screaming at Kyle. You see everybody laughing, but BSJ is screaming at Kyle that entire time.
That was like a championship team dynamic.
Oh yeah, it's really good. It's really
No wonder you guys won so many games.
very healthy dynamic that's going on there. 4 clowns and BSJ fucking losing his fucking mind and screaming at everybody. It's it's very good.
The question is that EG's team dynamic right now? Is it Bulba yelling at everybody, get your shit together?
Well, I hope he's not yelling at everybody, because I don't know about the drafts that Evil Geniuses have put forward so far.
Well, this one's looking pretty solid.
Yeah, true.
Back to Abed Storm. When in doubt, ring it out. You know what I'm saying?
10 seconds.
Tried.
Oh,
Tried and
faithful.
true.
Yeah.
That said, I can understand why they wanted Storm here. We see this early pick Kunkka again. Storm, pretty nice hero versus Kunkka. Can always dodge his spells. Kunkka's not great at dealing with mobility. Storm has a free lane. Shadow Demon, not much better at dealing with him, so... And it's a good setup initiator for Snapfire to be able to follow up. So it's a pretty nice pick. Well-rounded opener. I'm glad to see EG picking something like Snapfire early. I think it gives them a lot of what they were lacking in the other games that caused them issues. Just easy play makeability. Stuns, slows, damage, you know.
Yeah.
Everything Shadow Fiend doesn't have that we saw last game.
Yeah. I'm gonna go grab my sushi real quick. Right back.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I think maybe Kunkka wins slightly, but I think Storm does fine. I think Storm can lane versus pretty much anything. Outside of like when his ultimate counters are in the meta, like Viper and stuff. Otherwise, he tends to just always do okay. Maybe he dies once, but he can always farm jungle pretty fast with remnants. He gets a bunch of runes. He'll always be pretty decent otherwise. I mean, Kunkka's window is if he gets 6 before Storm, you kill him with boat. That's like your best opportunity. Then you can pull ahead.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
The Broodmother ban. People are getting afraid of this hero. I'll tell you that much.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I think Zoomers is looking at Nyx though. I think they played it yesterday too. They played the Shadow Demon Nyx opener. Nyx looks pretty solid here because they need some insta disables so they can chain the rest of their spells. I'm kind of surprised EG didn't ban it also because a lot of times they played Storm or Puck. They ban this Nyx. Maybe they have a plan for it.
Turn to pick Mirana.
Well, I like Mirana Shadow Demon more than Nyx Assassin, personally.
Yeah, I mean, the Nyx is pretty slow, but it did look juicy. Mirana's a bit faster on the map, can have some early plays. You also get this X setup mid with the arrow. Pretty nice, pretty annoying for Storm early until he has that 6.
Can build Yoles as well, which I think is pretty nice against
Yes,
Storm
it's pretty nice.
defensively and offensively.
I mean, Mirana's just good for Storm. Like, even her ult's pretty annoying in a lot of situations. Forces Storm to carry dust, takes up one of his slots, and this is a very slot hungry hero. Like, he likes having all the slots for all these random mana regen items, so even something small like that hurts him. Probably also more of a Z Freak hero, I guess. Probably played more Mirana than Nyx, I would say.
Yeah, farms more, bigger, better playmaker, I would say. And I mean, both farms more and is less sacrificial. How many Nyx assassins end up just
Yeah.
vendetting,
No, that's true.
breaking smokes and shit?
It's also, you have to keep in mind laning versus EG, and I think Mirana, it definitely keeps their laning options a lot more open and a lot stronger. Because one, it lets them run this Kunkka Mirana off lane if they want to do something like that, right? And that's pretty strong lane versus a lot of stuff. I mean, it's not guaranteed to be strong, but it's like you're proposing that threat along with that mid synergy, and you're keeping just your offlane options open more in general with the Mirana than something like a Nyx. Nyx really needs like a Veno Viper type hero, Furion to feel good, or like the Darkseer pair. Whereas Mirana, you can kind of put Mirana with any hero, and you'll get something, you know. She can always arrow range creep, pull a wave, do some shenanigans. So it's another reason why maybe something from Mirana is just more robust here than the Nyx. And Centaur War Runner. This hero exists? Question mark. I like this hero. I think he still has a place.
Isn't it weird against Shadow Demon, Kunkka, even Mirana with the Yules? Like, as an escape mechanism, I don't know how Stampede is going to work this game.
I mean, my impression of this pick is EG is like, all right, let's just not do all this fancy shit we're trying to do and just get some solid stuns laning synergy, right? Let's just get a nice Centaur Snapfire lane. This is a tried and true lane they've run many times. They used to play this Lion Centaur lane. It's very similar. Like, you cookie Centaur in, you hoof stomp them, you land all your nukes, you're gonna kill somebody. It's very easy, very strong lane, very hard to abuse, gives you a lot in the game. It's just well-rounded. But I agree, like, from an optimal perspective, is Centaur the best pick? Not amazing. The synergy with Storm is whatever. Like, Stampede isn't doing much for them here, and then it's also not a great Stampede game into that X Shadow Demon Disruption, Mirana Yules, like you said. So I don't think Centaur's doing anything crazy for them, but I think it's just solid, you know. Just get a solid hero. Let's like think more about the execution rather than like our draft being all over the place like it was yesterday. I think that's what the direction they're going, which I think is perfectly fine. Like,
I mean, if you're EG, you probably also look at this and be like, this is a match we can win purely off of execution, right?
yes, which I think is true. I think they should think like that. So just pick a bunch of stuns, and you always have play options with stuns. You know, that's just what they give you. They have 4 stunners right now. That's a good start. Like, assuming they think they can out execute them, they'll have the options to make that happen. So I think they're in a decent position to accomplish that goal, if that is their goal, which is what it looks like. But it does give Zoomers maybe some opportunity to like get 2 really good counter picks in here, because they get a chance to counter pick this Centaur lane and the carry lane, which is something they were doing yesterday. So there's like Templar Assassin, Terrorblade, Monkey King. I don't know. None of these really synergize with Shadow Demon that well, but Troll, interesting.
I mean,
It's an okay pick.
I can see
10 seconds remaining.
this is another laning phase focus pick, right?
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, a little bit. Troll's pretty strong in lane. I don't think Centaur is like the easiest for him to abuse, but he'll free farm, you know.
Yeah, at least
Assuming
he's
he doesn't get all in.
He's yeah, exactly. He won't be. Hopefully, he won't be hit by the cookie.
Yeah. There's a disruption on that lane, which helps a lot, right? You can break the combo.
Yeah, that's true.
You just have to be careful if you go aggressive, like the turnaround. But the nice thing about Troll here is it gives them a Roshan killer, which they lacked a lot. And it also gives them an extra way to latch onto this Storm. Because when Storm, the way you
10
punish Storm is you
seconds
create a
remaining.
scenario where whenever he goes into the fight, there's multiple sources of setup that then lead to the lockdown. So they have setup, right? They have this disruption and they have this arrow. I mean, it's pretty much just arrow, but they can kind of torrent off a disruption. It's kind of guaranteed. And then the Yule's Mirana eventually. But then it's what happens after that, right? So Troll's the guy who comes in after that and then
10 seconds
perma lock
remaining.
Storm down. We
Right.
actually saw this matchup yesterday, I think, right?
5 seconds remaining.
It was the TSM Troll versus not this, but it was the TSM Troll versus EG
Dire
Puck.
team ban.
And Abed just got like locked down by that Troll at a certain point.
Yeah.
So it's a similar concept. Troll can do pretty well versus these mobility mids.
Let's do this.
What carry does EG want? Razor's a good ban.
10 seconds.
Artor probably also thinks of Morphling versus Troll. I'd say he's up there.
Geniuses, turn to pick.
What else is in the pool? Luna is probably a consideration. Probably one of those two, I would think. Dusa as well. Not amazing versus Shadow Demon,
10
but they have
seconds
Bloodlust
remaining.
and a Stampede and stuff. So you can kind of play around it.
5 seconds.
I like Dusa or
remaining.
Morph. I think they're both pretty juicy here. Rounds out their lineup pretty nicely. Not a lot of weaknesses. They had Viper and
Dire
Axe.
team pick.
Terrorblade. Yeah, Arteezy Terrorblade.
Okay. I mean, that is a little bit of a classic GG as well, right? Arteezy
Yeah.
TB, also an illusion hero. Allows
10
them to
seconds remaining.
play the map more.
I think the matchup versus Troll is slightly worse than the Medusa or
seconds
the
remaining.
Morphling, but it does give them more map presence, which is nice for Storm and Centaur, because their lineup has a lot of pickoff. But this, yeah, I mean, there's still the Darkseer, which they don't have a melee for with him, and their lineup is not the best at using him. But this matchup can be very powerful. I'm not sure about this draft from Zoomers. Like, I think EG's draft is extremely well rounded. There's not really any weaknesses. And Zoomers has some decent counter picks and matchups in terms of Troll, Darkseer versus Terrorblade. Like, you can scale decently well, but the synergy between this Darkseer, Kunkka, and Saturday Miranas feels a little off to me. So this is really a high execution game for Zoomers, in my opinion. Like, they have to really overperform here and get the little things working in the early game so that they can get into that mid game prowess where Darkseer will take over the fights.
Was it Zoomers or EG that lost to the Darkseer TB matchup last time?
That was Zoomers. They countered a Terrorblade with Darkseer and they lost. That was a Yaward Terrorblade. Or no, sorry, Quincy countered Zoomers Terrorblade with Darkseer. And they won. So Zoomers lost to this matchup is I guess what I was trying to say.
Right.
There was Darkseer in both games that series, interestingly enough. So last pick Darkseer making some comebacks in this region.
So Zoomers are like, all right, it worked for them in this matchup. It'll work for us. Lineup's not as good as it was, but what, you're not a fan of vacuum torrent boat? That sounds kind of cool.
I mean that it is pretty. It can be pretty good. And you actually can't sleep on that. It's one of the easier combos to land too. Like if you're used to it. So I mean, Darkseer's always a powerful hero. You can never sleep on this hero. He can always win you games, no matter what. His spells are just insane. If he gets the Ags and Shard and all this, like EG can run into a damage problem because if you look outside of Terrorblade, the rest of their 4 heroes are all just this magic nuke-based damage, right? And Darkseer with like a pipe and Ags, you're not chunking through that. So there's like a timing where he can hit and just propel his lineup through that point in the game and allow his troll to go in. There's a Shadow Demon save. There's this Mirana evasion talent ulti. So this game looks pretty hard for EG if it goes really late, but there's a decent chance they can be like pretty far ahead in this game if they just execute well. That's kind of how I see this matchup.
All right. I got 2 more pieces of sushi left. I'm gonna gobble them down. Bounty runes. Should be a 2-2 split. Wait, TB's coming up. Other side.
Trying to
The
be
battle
sneaky over here.
begins.
It really is.
It's kind of a risky rune go. I feel like I usually don't see Artur do this kind of stuff. Took a decent amount of damage for it too. Like if Shadow Demon was there, he kind of just dead. But he gets away with it, and they're smoking up. Level 1 mid gank. This
Oh
is
my
spicy
God.
right here. This is some old school tech. This is like 2016 or this is like 2 presidents ago or some shit. God damn. I mean, it's gonna work because he's just guaranteed dead. I don't know if this does that much though. First blood went to the Shadow Demon too. Definitely not ideal. Like you want it on the Kunkka if you're gonna do this. He's gonna miss some CS, but he's just gonna TP back. Maybe it's just a morale thing, you know. And it gives Gunnar a pretty decent lead. So maybe this will. I was talking earlier that the biggest window in this matchup is if you get boat and Storm's still 5, you just kill him with the boat. So that is definitely gonna skew that. It's gonna guarantee Gunnar gets there at a pretty good, decent rate, I think.
Which means to earlier that Storm has to go jungle, which could mean that Shadow Demon Mirana pair up again to find him while he's jungling, trying to get his 6.
Yeah, so they might be able to like make it translate to some stuff later on, which could be cool. Side lanes looks like it's just a bunch of like pull shenanigans and some random crap. I mean, Darkseer had to start 1v2, so he just pulled. Couldn't get a lot going super early, and Centaurs looks to be pretty untouchable in this lane.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Jerax kills Moo's courier. What?
Yeah, literally just walk down the lane.
Well, that shouldn't happen, but
Yeah, Moo might have lost a little track of that one, but I'm gonna start taking some damage now. He's holding on to a skill point. So he pops the search now, gets fire blasted midway through. He's dead, unless
arrow.
That arrow.
he might get one more right click though. Doesn't. That's pretty big because Artur's giving up a bunch of CS for that, and it's basically his entire meta duration. And obviously it's a lot of damage, so it's probably still worth, but it's not what they were hoping for there in terms of getting the kill and rewarding Artur for the committal.
Yeah, certainly not. Moo's not gonna feel great about the fact that he only has tangos to work with. Oh wait, Z-Freak has a South, so
Yeah, but the lane is shoving. Like, he's blocking this wave. He gets the liberty to go back and block this wave a little. And he does get salved up, and this double range is pushing into him. And Artur's trying to deny off these ranged. But it's still... This lane's going to be up here for a while, because I don't think Jerax can really fight Mirana to get the pulls back that easily. He
yeah.
kind of can, but it's a crapshoot, so... The lane setup's looking pretty good for Moo for the next few minutes here. No meta. He's going to get the free farm a bunch of this. Get his levels.
They're gonna have to be more careful top lane. I glimpsed over and it's not close to Belay. Got hit by the Centaur cookie combination, so he lost most of his health. Fortunately, whirling axes stopped any of the follow-up damage. That miss percentage, but still.
I mean, as long as Dire doesn't die in this lane, I think they're okay.
Yeah.
This lane's not going to be able to punish Snap Centaur that easily. It's just too robust of a lane. Like, Shadow Demon's just not that strong of a laner. So,
Oh yeah.
you just want to get some pulls. Like, try and give your troll free farm.
What is Moo doing to his couriers?
I don't know. How did this one die, huh?
He's just feeding them to Jerax. I don't know what's going on.
Dire's courier has
Yeah, just running them in. Isn't paying attention. I mean, this adds up, man. This Darkseer hasn't gotten anything for like 4
Dire's
minutes.
courier has been killed.
Yeah, that was headdress and tango. That's pretty rough.
So this is where, like, mid, this next minute, they're trying to set up this arrow mid, too. Missed it.
That was
Unfortunate.
nice by Abed, interrupting the pullback with Vortex.
I mean, Z-Freak, I think, should still just be able to time it. That's not the easiest, but, I mean, that's why you play this, so...
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But they did get a TP out from Jerax, which I don't think they know, but that's pretty nice. Like, using these TPs on the 5s early.
Ooh, what an arrow! God damn, Z-Freak. That
I'm
was a
rewinding.
monster.
I'm rewinding for this. What the fuck happened?
He just
Actually just slayed his ass.
Yeah.
Wow, damn. I mean, that's pretty big.
And Nyx can't do that shit. God damn.
I mean, Nyx probably could, to be honest, but yeah. He ain't gonna make it look as spicy. Max damage arrow on a chipped terribly. You don't see that every day. Rana Darkseer putting in work. I mean, that's a morale destroyer right there.
Yeah. I think every RTZ kill feels pretty good when you play against EG.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Radiant
that's just the EG aura.
Yeah.
Jerax kills Zeef.
Oh, wow.
Costa Billy's almost dead. He misses the
He
point.
is dead. Oof.
Yeah, it's just early Vanguard Centaur with free farm, and they're gonna dive you. This troll's too low level, so early game's looking pretty good for EG here. I mean, some early mistakes, but overall, like, this Storm didn't die to the Kunkka 6, and this Centaur's just destroying his lane. Kind of like what we saw from Nightfall in a lot of the earlier series.
They're gonna smoke up Z-Freak, recognizing this top lane is needs some help. Gonna pull their mid hero in. It's still gonna be a bit of an effort to kill this Vanguard Centaur, but he doesn't have Stampede, so he's definitely dead.
Yeah, he's toast. That's just nice for his troll. It's like helping his troll stay in his lane longer and shutting down some of Centaur's momentum. Now, EG is smoking Storm up here, but a little late to the party. Maybe they'll find this troll. Looks like they will. So it'll work out for them.
He runs right into Abed. Very unfortunate for him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This is where Arteezy has to be careful.
Oh,
because
they're trying
all
for
this
the-
moves
yeah.
on top.
Everybody showed up there, and you're right. They immediately go for it. They're going to vacuum
Nice
back
back.
into the wall. He had the Sunder for a
Doesn't
second
have
there.
it.
I think he
Oh.
tread switched. He went through intelligence, and he had enough mana, but he went to
Yeah.
strength. Oh, no.
He went to int, he tried to Sunder, he lost vision, then he tread toggled again, and then he messed it up and didn't have mana, so very unfortunate, because you hold that Sunder point for situations like that.
Right.
So now it's like he has this point that you didn't even get the value out of. Super unfortunate. He even bought the Bassi to like have the extra mana regen. I don't know if this Bassi is a normal Terrorblade purchase. Looks a little weird to me, but I mean, I don't think it's bad or anything, but it's kind of just like a pretty big blow as well, because Troll gets to come down here, he gets the last hit on the tower, they get the value out of this early 6 on Darkseer in terms of the wall. So now he's like, alright, I've done my job, I'm gonna go top and take the farm no one else wants to take, and yeah, EG's early game was pretty solid, but the 2 Terrorblade deaths giving some momentum back, for sure.
Gonna try for the kill on the Moo. Nice sidestep there from Moo. The surge doesn't slow down from the Stampede.
He's got a
Nice
back.
arrow. Oh, another beauty. They vacuum back into the tier 2 as well with the boat. The disruption
Oh
away
my
to be able to get
God.
Moo out. 4zoomers are playing like some pretty mad lads right now. This is gonna be a slow death from Nightfall, but eventually he will fall.
Pop the
Eventually.
poison, bro. God damn, what a turnaround. I mean, he got arrowed, perfect arrow on the exact target to save Moo. Then the 3-man vac, they get the Torrent boat, disruption to save Moo again on 2 HP. Huge overcommittal from EG. Just forcing a kill that, like, you know, when that Huss Stomp misses, and then he got all the way back under his tier 2. It's just not, it's too greedy at that point, you know? You messed it up. Just
Costa's
take the
gotta,
loss.
he's gotta accept, he's gonna have to play a little bit more conservative a game when things like this happen. He does have his ult and he's gonna pop it here, but none of his team can be there because they were all top earlier. Cookie gets Jerick's away, so he'll survive.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And,
attack.
yeah, he just keeps on getting punished because his team's making nice moves on the other side of the map, but then EG just hones in on him.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think Dire, like, maybe they lost some obs, but they have very little wards on the map, and none of them are in this enemy jungle, so hard for Troll to push this bottom lane in too deep. They could go with him and help him do it, which I think is the correct play when you don't have control like this, but there's not a lot of places for him to go, and he has to go back down here. And I think Dire needs to, like, they need to go in this enemy jungle and clear it out so they can create some space for this guy. Because if Darkseer's going to play top, there's no one else who's naturally going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, they're probably going to smoke here. Imagine.
Moo is going to go mech again rather than faster Ags.
Yeah, I think he almost always goes mech build. He's a big fan of early mech or like maybe sometimes hood, but I think I see him go mech more than some other Darkseers, which I think is fine. If you get it early, it's still a very strong item, and it can feel good on this hero in terms of just the build up. Like you kind of want one small item before just rushing Ags. I think Ags can be pretty slow. So if they put it to work, I think they can hit a pretty nice early timing, which in a game like this can be nice because EG is picking up the tempo here. Another kill. This Troll just has nowhere to fucking go, man.
Yeah. Do you think that them getting pulled up to this top lane continuously is the source of that problem? I mean, it's not just the Darkseer, but now Husky's up here for some reason.
They're definitely committing a lot. I mean, it's just the Darkseer's up here, and the Darkseer's like... It's also just the thing of how their heroes synergize. Like, if Darkseer is going to go bottom and push into the enemy jungle, who's playing with him to do that? It's pretty awkward, because Darkseer just wants to kind of farm and get levels. So it's like this Kunkka, Shadow Demon, Morana group that wants to do it, but they just haven't been able to get the move to work, so as a consequence, EG can just make these plays on cost ability, and there's no vision, there's no blocking, there's no lanes in where he sees anything, it's just darkness. And so those deaths are just really hard for, like, it's not on him. They're just kind of, his team needs to create the buffer.
Yeah.
I mean, they can also just say, fuck it, like, we'll let you die once or twice, but Darkseer and Kunkka are going to get really fat. We don't really care if they kill you once or twice. Which, maybe that's an okay trade-off. It's not ideal for sure, but, like, it might be acceptable. EG's
Certainly
moving
not
bottom again.
Certainly not playing well when it comes to the net worth with
Yeah.
EG 2K up and Terrorblade just sitting in safe jungle areas.
We slip into shadow.
Oh, these new golden XP charts are so weird to me still. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's like hard to tell the difference, right? At points in time. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, what I was going to say is, like, EG's still farming, but the actual gold differential hasn't grown that much. So if you look at, like, you know, 7 or 8 minutes, they were up probably 1,100, and now they're up, like, 2,400. That's, like, 7 minutes to grow the lead by 1,000. It's not that great.
Sure, sure.
And this is another thing I saw with them a lot in a lot of their other games is when they had these early leads, they did not translate it into much momentum. They're kind of slow like this, so they got this Nightfall blink. He is Omega jacked. Now it's a question of they're going to be able to use it here. Z-Freak going to break.
They see Gunner. They're going to wrap into him. He's going to go for a TP out, but it's going to be a little bit too late. Grab him, swiftly executed. That was a lot of damage.
You see Nightfall take that last hit too? Lost.
Jeez.
Fucking canceled his double edge so he could get that last hit from Ovid. And now he's high as
wants
network.
it all.
This guy's a carry player at heart, dude. I'm telling you, that's some carry player shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, I would literally walk away and give it to my Storm. I wouldn't even...
I mean, I could see a world where Aghanim Scepter is pretty value in this game, just not more value than than Orchid Storm Spirit right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Yeah, I mean, also his net worth over the long term just doesn't really matter as much as Storm's.
Yeah.
Because his net worth is not... Like, Centaur can scale and carry with the new shard and some tanky stuff, but this isn't really the, like,
Dire's middle
game you
tower
want
is
him to be
under
doing that
attack.
over when you have Storm and Terrorblade. Neither of those heroes plays well from, like, the 3, so... You kind of just... We'd rather have him play kind of 3 on the Centaur, even if he's super farmed. I mean, that's fine. But just be blocking smokes and, like, be in the front. Like, here, he's blocking the smoke. I don't know if he knows, but they actually got the disruption with the ward. Well, the skeleton blocked the arrow.
The skeleton spawned and blocked the arrow, and Nightfall. If anything, they're going to be able to kill Moo here with the Mortimer's Kisses landing on point from crit. Jarek's almost caught an additional hero there with a Fire Blast, but got out of vision in time.
That's where I was talking about, like, this Mirana Shadow Demon Darkseer trio. Not that spooky. Like, they ran into Centaur, throw all their spells on him. He's like half HP. So what? It's a very awkward gank setup. So.
Imran is laughing at me, I know it.
We're dead?
He is.
Just dead? Alright, I mean... I was gonna say, this game is starting to, like, snowball a bit, but... Artor just walks mid, gets purged, and dies. Kills a lot of your momentum.
Seems like if you're carry this game, it's not a fun time.
Yeah, or mistakes like that. He just keeps picking up the tempo. Yeah. Big haste rune.
Dire's middle
And Centaur's
tower
like
is under
untouchable.
attack.
He's just way too farmed.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, so he's gonna take this mid tower, guaranteed.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And now that opens up the triangle even more. Mid tower down, that just leaves even less areas for Costa Bela to be able to farm.
Yeah, they just don't have...
Dire are scanning.
Like, they just don't have the setup to really lock down the storm for them to go into these areas. He can mech in here. No mana for Stampede. It is awkward
back
fight,
in.
though.
It is really awkward, especially since Crit is actually pretty damn tanky with this Solar Crest. They commit for him and do get it eventually.
And now there's
Nightfall's gonna be
Stampede up.
grabbed. And he does have Stampede. He could pop it if he wants, if he feels he needs to. Turns around. Sid goes for the Stomp. He wants the more offensive play. Pops his wand, gets off the Stampede, and Gunner's dead.
I mean, don't go on this Centaur, guys. I don't know what to tell you. It ain't working out. This boy's beefy as hell. Like, maybe if Troll's like there and hitting him, but I mean, he's untouchable right now. You need like more Soul Catch. I mean, they actually have max Soul Catcher. That's like their best tool for dealing with him, but ideally you're just like killing Storm in the subs. So those are your best targets.
My eternal gratitude.
Z-Freak went Vessel, he did not go Yule, so they're also going to be missing this other lockdown piece for Abed. So what is he really afraid of when he goes in here?
Tower is under attack.
It's like... disruption, I guess? He gets disrupted into an arrow and nobody blocks it for him? Otherwise, he's kind of free to do whatever.
It really is all disruption. Disruption arrow, disruption torrent, and as you said, any of that can lead into the troll getting on top of you, but if that doesn't happen, then it's like Z-Freak landing some freak arrows like he's done before, but that's not something you can rely on in a team fight.
Yeah, not reliable. Especially when they're going to put an Aegis on this guy, too.
Yep.
Aegis, Arcane Room, Storm. The Dream.
Oh, it kind of looks like it's one of those. I'm getting the classic EG inevitable vibes. You just feel them encroaching more and more up on the map. Abed's making some plays, pulls back in a troll who's orchid it up. He will manage to survive through the orchid. They do manage to get the disruption as well, so he's alive. Crit pulled back in. 4zoomers, though, are not willing to take the fight, even 4 versus 5, because of the Aegis on Abed.
I mean, very nice defensive play, at least. It's like saving your troll there. Very clutch torrent.
Thank you.
So they get to buy some time, but... Yeah, just no way to take the fight. They need the Ags on Darkseer for the extra damage and HP. They need, you know, less pickoffs to be going towards the storm. And they need more damage. Where's the damage going to come from? This troll's going BKB, which he needs, but... I guess Soul Catcher and... I guess they get the Terrorblade illusions, like the wall and the disruption.
Yeah. Feels like kind of like they're all in play. But if Arteezy's not in the fight, you know, if he's just not there, how do they win?
I mean, that's true. It's almost advantageous for him just to not show up, because the storm will just gonna kill. I mean, they have no answer for the storm at all. Like,
yeah,
he's just gonna jump whoever, whenever.
Yeah, they keep on. They've got some nice aggressive vision. Another disruption. Abed willing to spend his Aegis to get this kill if needed, but it may not even be needed. They're going to try and come in from behind. Costa Bile does manage to get that kill and get the snap fire on the second line. The boat, it lands. The arrow follow-up with the Torrent on top, and that is a dead Storm Spear. What a hit from Zoomers.
God damn.
That was well executed, and they could go for more. Remember, guys, it is a tanky Centaur. They're going to not be so sure about that anymore.
I mean, super nice execution. Like, I mean, Abed is right to just be jumping there, I think, because he's a god, but like they prolong the Darkseer death and then they get to land this arrow combo on him the first time, and then just super nice boat timing by Gunner. Like, that is not an easy timing to hit, I can tell you. Boating someone out of Aegis before he can jump. It's just super nice. And then he hits the Torrent. He places it behind, so he gets the Centaur coming in as well. Just really nice execution. Every kill they get on Storm is super big. Because in my opinion, Storm is kind of their biggest problem right now. Like, Terrorblade, they have tools to deal with Terrorblade as the game goes on. They have Darkseer, Shadow Demon, Troll, you know? Terrorblade's not that scary. But the Storm is like... That's their problem. So the more they delay him getting BKB, it's super big.
Trying to poke a Nightfall here. BKB pop by Arteezy. Okay, they do manage to get the Orchid on the move. The boat's going to come in. The disruption as well. Again, trying to bail out this Darkseer. Can he get away? He gets off the wall onto the TV with a Soul Catcher there as well. If they could just get some more damage onto him, he has to sunder an illusion just to get a little bit more HP to make sure he stays alive. He's killing himself with his own illusion. He hides in the corner. Costa Bile locks on a crit, and it's the illusion that will finish off Arteezy as Gunner runs him down with a nice Kunkka swing. The troll is going to be gone on here inside the river, but another disruption. Abed, though, sets it up and will manage to get that kill and has enough mana to make a couple of zips away. Should be fine. 4zoomers, once again, showing that they can fight back against the evil geniuses. You're right, they've got so many answers. Oh, he's not that tanky Centaur anymore. That's 700 health and now 0.
Just sloppy play, honestly. Like, this Nightfall death should not happen. And then Artur just, like, it felt like that was a very early BKB. He doesn't want to get backed into the wall. Like, that's why he's doing it that early. Which I think is understandable, because that wall illusion fucked him up. But then, like, he ended up getting the illusion anyway, because he runs in and just killed it. Honestly, that was what did most of his HP and damage. It's almost like you're better off not being in the fight again type deal, right? Like,
yeah.
Kind of felt like he just ran in and killed himself and didn't accomplish that much, but just very sloppy. I don't know.
It also feels like every disruption comes as a surprise to EG. Like, Husky's doing a great job landing the disruptions at the right times and stuff, but they haven't really they haven't really made an effort to stop him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, maybe they should be trying to find this SD a bit more. Like, jumping Darkseer is good because Darkseer's the highest priority target you can go on, but there's gonna be the save there, you know, and he's tanky.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22. It's like them going on the Centaur earlier. If you don't get that kill, you're gonna pay a heavy price. And he has Zags now, so they're hitting some timings here. BKB on Troll coming up, Ags on the Darkseer. We saw Gunner's BKB that fight. I mean, he's pretty tanky. These BKBs prevent a lot of EG's damage. It's on the Terrorblade, but the Terrorblade doesn't want to commit because
Dire's top tower
if he ever gets disrupted or walled,
it's
gonna kill him, so.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Interesting part of the game right here. This is really where it's gonna swing. Like, can EG
Radiant's middle
cement
tower
their lead,
has fallen.
or is it gonna swing the other way? That's kind of the point of the game. It feels like to me.
Vanish!
See, big pot of multi.
Sweep it across the map, heading up to top lane. Evil Geniuses have already retreated. They're actually going to stick around. They're going to play around this lane ward. See if there's any free pickups.
Thing is, they lost their jungle Ob. It's dangerous because they should know most of Zoomers was up here. So if they see somebody show, it's like, do you want to go on that guy? And Zoomers, you're just going to re-smoke here with the Troll BKB timing. And another Mithril Hammer. He's doing some damage now.
Radiant's
He's
middle
not
tower is
insignificant.
under attack.
They're looking for Artor, but he is nowhere around here.
Yeah. Artur pushing out bottom lane with his illusions. Very conservatively. The rest of Evil Geniuses playing the sides of the map.
Radiant's courier has been
Abed
killed.
finally breaks and says, okay, I'm going to push this lane in a little bit.
Radiant's
Four
middle
Zoomers
tower
are...
is under
Yeah,
attack.
the Jerax runs into the smoke. They don't get him right away.
Over here now.
In fact, they may never
Dire's
get
top
him.
tower is under attack.
Wow. He actually just walked into them and then walked away? And Gunner found him anyway?
Oh, shit, he did.
He's getting fogged.
Scuttered.
Oh, he got him.
Oh, we got the 50-50 right. Nice.
And he got the TP, so now the Ogre's going to have to walk out of base. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of time. He's off the map. And Roche could technically spawn soon. Like, from their POV, right?
Damn,
They
look
don't
at
know,
Gunner.
so-
He's already on the
There,
other
yeah.
side of the map, and now they've caught Nightfall pulled back into the
He's dead.
arrow with the Soul Catcher demolishing half of his HP. The Centaur looks a lot squishier now.
EG's just getting outmaneuvered. Like, it feels like they don't think they can fight. Like, they kind of want to fight, but they don't see the way to do it. And now Artur is getting vacked and punched.
Normal punch. Yeah, Abed does manage to grab the Shadow Demon this time, but the Shadow Demon already has Ghost Scepter, so he survives through that Orchid attempt. Abed
Radiant's top
zipping
tower
back
is
through
under
them and
attack.
using his haste rune to run away.
It's another BKB off Artur, though. And those are super big this game, because that's the only thing protecting him from all these counter illusion plays we talked about.
Yeah.
And every single one of those, like, Zoomers is super happy with that type of stuff, because they feel like they're regaining momentum, and Troll's getting farmed.
Radiant's top
And
tower
Troll
is
can
under
be the
attack.
boss of this game. Like, he doesn't have many buffs behind him, but he has the boat rum, he has the disruption, he has some Mirana, you know, she'll have the invis ult later on. He has the surge. I guess he does have a lot of buffs. He has fucking Darkseer. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, he can be the boss of this game. He can go in and
Radiant's
just slay.
bottom tower is under attack.
Gunner with an Illusion. Pretty nice. So this is about Roshan now and controlling Roche. Zoomers are trying to take this hill. Jerax doesn't want to give up this ward. Rightfully so.
So he starts off. Oh, looks like they got
Oh,
the jump
no.
onto the Darkseer without the Shadow Demon being close enough for the save. They blow him up right before he could be there. They throw a Purge onto Abed. Abed still has enough mana to be able to get away. Husky pops his Ghost Scepter, TP's out. The Cookie just barely off the mark, but the Stomp is solid. Costabile, he'll make it out with his BKB TP out. And that probably opens up Roshan for Evil Geniuses. They funnel right back into the pit.
And Jerax just baiting Moo into the river there. Like, he stunned his teammate up on this outpost area. So Moo's probably thinking that they're in that direction. But this observer ward on the hill, like, you have to be thinking that there's probably a ward there. And Moo can't just walk through this river. He's going to always get jumped by Storm in those situations. Unless Shadow Demon's close, right? If they're baiting it and they want to play that game, they can. But it's risky because he can get stunned out of the disruption too. And if he dies first, Zoomers are not fighting. Like,
Yeah.
he needs to be the one who lives through this entire engagement. So it's kind of a big misplay by them, and secures Aegis, second Aegis for Abed.
Tower is under attack.
Pretty nice here. Last time it
Radiant's
backfired,
bottom
but
tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has
Rana's not going to make it out. The Moonlight Shadow is no defense with a sentry on the high ground.
Also, Blaster on this Darkseer. Pretty nice item for this game. If it ever procs on, like, the Storm or maybe Terrorblade, that one's pretty hard, though, because he's so far ranged, but even the extra armor is pretty nice.
I love Blast Rig.
Yeah, it's a nice item.
Such a nice off-lane support item.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, good utility neutral items. They got rid of a lot of the, like, super imba carry ones, I think. Like,
yeah.
I mean, there's, like, Elven Tunic and stuff, but it's been nerfed a little bit.
Yeah, much better than it used to be, where it was the... I mean, plus we also have 5 every level, but it was like the hand-me-downs. You know, every fresh iteration of items would always go to the carries. But now it feels like we have enough variety that, like, some items are clearly better on supports.
Yeah, like, what carry's gonna take Blaster, right? I'd be fucking mad if I saw my carry, like, my Morphling with a Blaster for the armor, like, bro.
Yeah. Is that a movement speed item, which, like, Spirit Breaker always grabs, but the that gives vision? That's another, like, utility item that doesn't give any, like, clear stat for most carries that they like. So...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I tend to like that kind of stuff more, I think, like, having neutral items be something that gives you some minor utility that you, like, some heroes use better than others, so you kind of have to think about who wants what and decide, rather than just these, like, pure damage neutral items. Like, those just aren't as interesting to me. It's like, oh, here's some extra effective 50 DPS. Like,
yeah.
I mean, cool, but, like, yeah, who cares?
It's a nice call. They were I think they were thinking about going for, like, whoever would show top to defend, but X marks the spot. They push out the lane. It's just get pushed back right back in by Arteezy, but they can kind of keep this little game going for a while.
Artur went. He has the Scotty and he has the blink. So the big thing for EG in these fights is, like, Storm has Aegis for 2 minutes. He's gonna go in. Centaur's a heart. He's also going in. Artur wants to blink and not get backwalled. That's what he's looking for. Gunner's starting here.
Here goes the Stampede. They manage to pound the Shadow Demon. The Shadow Demon, an important kill, and they get him. Arteezy managed to demolish him. Has to run through the own wall, though, and starts running away with that BKB. Still has to be carried of the Troll. The Troll, he got bashed so many times, but it wasn't enough. They still managed to get out the Sunder, and the Troll is still strong enough to be able to get that kill, but it cost him his life ultimately. The vacuum back in onto 2. Abed with enough mana for a long zip in.
This TB illusion.
The TB illusion is still carrying through this team fight. The Shadow Demon's just going to dodge through with the disruption. They have to deal with the illusion. Nightfall finally cuts it down with his magic damage. And Z-Freak and Moo are left in a 2v2 against Cores. That's never going to feel... it'll make them feel blue. Damn, I had a nice rhyming scheme going there.
Almost. I mean, what a crazy fight. Like, the way it started was just so bizarre, because Gunner, he ran in and he started on Centaur, and then he ended up being the one stunned by Centaur like 5 seconds later without getting his BKB off and got mega chunked. I think if that doesn't happen, they get to stall that fight for a lot longer, but Artur also barely getting Sunder off. Like, that was huge, right? Because if he doesn't Sunder that Troll, they probably just clean that fight up on 4zoomers side. But those two things happening, very fortunate for EG, and then even with that, that fight is not that decisive for them, because they only win that because Storm had Aegis, so he gets to come back and clean up. Right. But if he doesn't have that, not as a convincing win. That Terrorblade illusion was doing mad work.
Next, Abed's going to go for Aghanim Scepter, so that's going to be a huge team fight opportunity. Plus, who knows, maybe that AoE grab also ends up getting the TB illusion, which, I mean, I feel like this is almost getting to a point where they have to, like Nightfall did at the end there, focus down the illusion and get rid of it, or, you know, stun it somehow or something, because this illusion is winning the fight.
I mean, they are going to win Zoomers these fights, so that we see crit bot a Dagon. This is one of the best ways to do it. You just zap it.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking about this, like, even Nightfall might go in, because it is honestly the best way to deal with these TV illusions. You see it, and then you hold your Dagon, right? You hold your Dagon until you see that goober, and you sap them down. So I like that adaptability. It's very nice.
Dire's top
I think
tower is under attack.
the other threat is this Troll. We saw it that fight in terms of Troll getting on Terrorblade and locking him down. Like, that's where the matchup's Troll favored. You can just stick on him, so that's the other big thing for
Radiant's
them.
bottom tower
Does Dagon
is
still
under
do
attack.
bonus damage to summons like it did like way back when?
Radiant's
Is that still a
bottom
thing?
tower has
The
fallen.
summons? I don't think so.
Or like illusions or something? I remember there,
I mean,
there was
it
something
insta
about
kills
that.
Illus.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
So what-
It'll
Radiant's bottom
one-shot
tower
any
is
illusion,
under attack.
no matter
Yeah,
what.
why is it still that way?
Dire's top tower is under
Because it doesn't apply some sort of dispel.
I mean, they just made it that, right?
Yeah.
There was a patch where they just made it insta-kill illusions. Like, they just gave it that attribute. Just to try and make it a little bit stronger, or like extra utility.
That's interesting. I'm pretty sure
It
that
might-
was an old Warcraft 3 mechanic as well.
Maybe, I don't remember that one. It might have been. It might not kill CK illusions. Maybe CK illusions are... Because I think CK illusions are like unique now or something. But
Or like strong illusions or something.
yeah, you're like, they don't die to a lot of other stuff, but it'll do the job here. And Trollgan jumps. He needs a
Oh,
disruption.
they need the disruption, but Husky's too far away. He doesn't have a mobility item to be able to get there, so a little bit of a disjoint once again between the save and their core. He's dead for 70.
Yeah, just a
Dire's
freebie.
top tower has fallen.
They're gonna
And
get another one.
now it's gonna fall apart. Darkseer's dead too. Shadow Demon's gone. Some of these heroes do not have buybacks, so 2 lanes.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, well, you can't make mistakes like that when they're at your base. Get
No.
ultra punished.
Dire's top barracks has
Just
fallen.
not ready for the wolf at your door, so to say.
Well, that's kind of a disappointing way for EG to be able to get 2 lanes of barracks for me, because I felt like 4zoomers was actually doing a really good job executing for a lot of these team fights.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty far behind, so it's definitely not an easy position to fight in. They do have powerful spells, but yeah, that'll just blow the game open. I
Yeah.
mean, Jerax almost has a Hex or something, I don't know. He just farms. Get that multi-sheep going.
He didn't even go hand to minus, and he's got 4k gold. Jeez.
Invisibility.
Yeah, I think you're actually supposed to go minus in games like this.
Agreed.
Like 100%. It pays out in way too fast a rate.
And there's no like immediate item that Ogre feels really good with.
Yeah, I mean, it's like gonna be Glimmer or something, but he's playing versus Purges and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably supposed to go like 8th or 4th staff. I think 4th staff is still pretty nice this game. Just you might be in a scenario where forcing TB lets him survive like the troll chain batch and gets under off, so I don't see an argument there. But otherwise, yeah, Midas is pretty nice. And EG is just super far ahead now. This Terrorblade has full Swift Blink and
Dire's bottom
Satanic.
tower is under
Good
attack.
luck.
Yeah. And as soon as this tier 2 is down, option for Megas opens up for Evil Geniuses. They can go back to Roshan if they want. It's there waiting for them. There's no reason not
Dire's
to, I
bottom
think.
tower is under attack.
Okay, unless they
They're
get
just
a
gonna
pick
jump.
outside of it. Stomp first, but not a huge commitment out of Evil Geniuses. Manage to
Found
find
Darkseer.
Moo. They're going to jump onto this Darkseer quick as possible. He does manage to get off the wall. That actually caught a TB illusion. TB is in melee for him, though. So that is not going to be the most powerful tool. Especially if Evil Geniuses just back away. Nightfall being the only one to still keep moving forward. But
You can just wait out this wall. Just go bottom, right?
yeah, exactly. Like, can't you just push high ground? I feel like
Yeah, I think so.
the wall being gone is better than having an Aegis.
Oh yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under
You just
attack.
go high ground now.
Dire's bottom
It'll
tower
let
has
Centaur
fallen.
or TB just hit it, and TB can just Swift Blink in and just hit. Like, you can just go in with the Storm Jump on pretty much anybody your shows. And 4zoomers was thinking about Roche, but like EG made the correct read here and just come fight us. No wall.
Yeah.
They have to think about the buybacks here, which is probably why they're debating just jumping, but I feel like they're pretty strong. It is hard to just jump, though.
Yeah, they should know that Darkseer has no buyback and Shadow Demon, but everybody else is open season. They're going to be able to get a nice two-man pull in from the Storm Spirit, and boy, that damage just raining on and Arteezy now blinking in to catch some of the back line. They kill the Shadow Demon. The Scotty slow on Gunner. He's trying to armlet toggle against this TB, and the meta does run out, but Gunner's going to be trapped in a corner here, and Arteezy should be able to finish him off bit by bit. Good toggling, but eventually dies. Buybacks now right in front of the fountain, but again, there wasn't enough of them. Gunner. Oh, he's trying to pull him into the fountain. Oh, close. Got a little damage on crit, but that's it. GG for game 1.
Yeah, just a very straightforward draft. Very high inter-hero synergy. You know, solid lanes, hard lanes to punish as well. A very forgiving lineup, so they put themselves in a good position. Some small misexecutions in terms of towards some bad deaths early, and some of those fights, I think they were jumping different targets, but once they figured out like how to play the fights and they got both Aegis on Storm, pretty straightforward path to closing it out.
All right. Well, even though it did feel like in some ways that EG like victory was kind of inevitable, I was impressed by 4zoomers. Like their execution on a lot of these team fights was really good. So it gives me hope for a game 2. That's for sure.
Oh my god!
Yeah, for sure. Some of those kills, I mean, they're just really nice timings. The boat on the Aegis Storm, some of the disruption timings